Hello, welcome back to the Coleman channel and welcome back to another installment of the Tuba Review. Oh yes. Yeah, it's been a little while, but obviously something came out today, something highly anticipated that we've all been talking about for quite a while if you're a little gamer, geek, nerd, or you're just in the know. You've read the title, you know what it is. It's the Super Mario Brothers, the movie. Wahoo! Yeah, Super Mario Bros. The movie featuring Chris Pratt, everyone's favourite Mario, came out literally today. I just saw it not a couple of hours ago. I say a few hours ago. But I saw it today. I literally am just fresh off of seeing it today, where it came out today, the 5th. Yes, this is a film that I don't think a lot of people were expecting to see. You know, obviously it's like, dude, there needs no introduction. It's Mario, you know, Mr. Video Game himself. We all know who it is. I'm sure we've all played a Mario game once in our life. And me being a big epic litty sicky gamer, I fucking adore Mario. I've played Mario for many years. First Mario game I ever played was on the Game Boy. I think it was one of these Super Mario Advance games, so it was 1 or 2 or 3. I think it may have been 2 or 3. I can't remember. Actually, maybe in World. I don't know. The point is, I've played Mario a lot, and that's not what we're here to talk about. We're just here to talk about the film, because I think a lot of people were very skeptical when it got announced for the first time, because it was Illumination that were making it, and you know, the Minions dudes, yippee, the people responsible for creating I think some of the, I don't know what the word is, it's just, you know, that Frozen effect where a company realizes that a character, a thing that they've created is so popular amongst the kids that they just absolutely bombard the human race with them in terms of merchandising and advertising and stuff. Yeah, I don't like them very much, and it kind of gives Illumination a bit of a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth, I think. But for an animation studio, I think they're okay. You know, they're not bad. They came out with some good films. Secret Life of Pets is pretty good, you know? Not bad. The first Despicable Me, I think, is pretty good, you know what I'm saying? But the point is, the Mario movie got announced a couple of years ago. And the cast got announced, and everyone went, oh fucking hell, this is going to be probably terrible. I remember when the Nintendo Direct happened with Shigeru Miyamoto announced the cast for the Mario movie. We watched it live on Twitch with my old YouTube channel Soup Group, and our reactions, I think, pretty much summarise how we felt about it. Hey, Mario, bro, it's not Charles, goddamn.
No! No! What do you mean?
No!
No!
No! How the fuck can you do that? How can you be allowed to do that? How can you be allowed to do that, bro? It's not allowed. No, it's not allowed.
No!
Flip that, bro.
No!
Flip that shit right now.
Was that fucking Charlie Day?
Oh my god! No! What is happening?
Oh my god!
You cannot be happy. I can't fucking believe it! I can't fucking believe it! I can't believe what I'm seeing right now! This is the most fucking casting I've ever seen in my life. How the fuck can you have Holy fuck! Holy fuck!
But you know, trailers came out, the film actually looked pretty aesthetically pleasing. There were some things about it. There was just a lot of stuff that actually made everyone start, well, at least certainly me, start to go, potential? You know, there's some potential. Could this actually potentially be a really good Mario movie that just is a beautiful homage to the video games and the history, the 30 plus years of Mario history, and it's just a good cohesive film that pays respect to the characters and the worlds, and you know, it's not just like an Illumination film, it's like Illumination making a Mario movie, if that makes any sense. It's not just like, yeah, this is Mario characters and stuff, but clearly Illumination made it. Do you know what I mean? that makes any sense. I don't know if it does, but I think what I'm trying to say is like it's a good Mario film that pays homage to the games, and it's a good story, and it's entertaining for all ages, for gamers young and old, for Mario fans young and old, and it just doesn't feel like, you know, minions are being thrown about everywhere going Illumination and all that. Yes, I think that's what people, certainly I started to feel that way when the trailers started to come out. But yeah, it's always interesting to see Mario getting a film. I remember when I was a kid, and my mother told me about the original, I can't remember what, 1980 something Mario film with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. And I was like, what, a Mario movie? There's no way, that's not real. And then I watched it, and yeah, I was exposed to that. Maybe I'll do a review of of that film at some point. But we're not here to talk about the Bob Hoskins film. We're here to talk about the Chris Pratt film. And yeah, you know, I'm just gonna give you my spoiler-free review first of all, because obviously this film just came out, so you know you're gonna want to watch the spoiler-free review if you plan on seeing it. First of all, I think you should see it. You know, if you're a fan of animation, primarily if you're a fan of Mario, but I don't think you need to be a massive fan of the games or anything, because everyone knows who Mario is as a character. Like, everyone knows Mario. Everyone and their dad and their granddad knows who Mario and Luigi and Bowser and Peach and Toad are, right? I don't think you need to be too familiar with everything. There may be some aspects you might be like, you know, what video gamey stuff, but you know, I think you could get away with watching it and not really knowing what's going on. But yeah, you should watch it. It's I recommend that you see it. But yeah, my thoughts on the Mario movie, the 2023 Mario Illumination animated film. I was very, very pleasantly surprised. I was very pleasantly surprised when I was watching it. I think after the trailers and stuff came out, I was like, right, there's no way this is going to be a bad film, or at least like a garbage, god-awful Illumination schlock piece of like merch money-making movie, do you know what I mean? I think at the very least I thought it would be like tolerable, or would have some good moments and highlights about it that make it worthy of something, but you know, maybe it would fall flat in some other areas, I don't know. But I was pleasantly surprised because I enjoyed it the whole way through, you know what I mean? I thought it was a really great film. I enjoyed it, you know, I was entertained. The Mario fan in me was pleasantly surprised. It was a great film of sitting through it and, you know, enjoying the story in the film and watching your favourite characters pop up and their dynamics together, and also as a Mario fan of the games going, oh, I recognise that song, I recognise that power-up, I recognise this world. That's from this Mario game, that Mario game, that's from Galaxy, Odyssey, 64, Sunshine, you know, the whole fucking thing. And as a Nintendo fan as well, because there's a lot of nice little treats that are all throughout it if you're a Nintendo fan and you're familiar with the history and stuff. Yes, it was a very, very good film. It was very entertaining. I think it's definitely good for all ages. You know, I think as an adult, as a 25-year-old man-child going in to see it, it was like, you know, I was definitely entertained. I was very entertained. It was just fun. It was a fun, easy to watch, pleasant to the eyes, cohesive story, Mario film. You know, it didn't need to be much else than that. It's the whole thing. You know, when you're making a film based on Mario, it's not like you're trying to adapt a crazy, in-depth story filled with characterization and symbolism and narrative and stuff, because Nintendo historically have always chosen gameplay over story, for better or for worse. Pretty much all of their games, all their franchises, whether we're talking about fucking Mario or fucking Kirby or Legend of Zelda or Metroid or any of these things, are not very story driven. There might be bits of story in it here and there and some lore they have to pick up along the way, but it's not driven by story. It's not cutscene heavy, it's not dialogue heavy, it's not got a lot of crazy characterization or narrative going through it. It's all about the gameplay. That's always been the way it is for Nintendo. So they didn't have to worry about adapting a crazy story. They just had to take Mario and make a good film and make a nice little story about it. And they did that, you know. It paid a lot of homage to Mario's history, particularly in the West as well. It was a very westernized movie, which I thought was very interesting. It definitely felt like it was made for American audiences with the cast and all that kind of stuff, and you know, a lot of stuff based on the cartoons You know, like the Super Mario, you know, from the trailer that we all saw with them, you know, with the Mario Brothers and Plumbing's a game and that, like, they obviously get all the fame from Super Mario Brothers Super Show and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of westernized things for American audiences and, you know, the rest of the West and all that kind of stuff, which I thought was intriguing to me. I guess that's what happens when you make films with Illumination. Are Illumination American? I don't know, but you know, they're very recognised by the West and all that kind of stuff, so I thought that was quite intriguing. But yeah, like I keep saying it, it was just a very pleasant film to watch, and it was just nice to be shown that it is possible to make a good Mario movie. And for a video game movie, you know, I feel like the whole video game movie adaptation curse thing is kind of not as existent now, because there's some good examples out there, but I think the Mario movie for me right now is my favourite video game film right now, because it's just fucking great. It's just it's just fun. It's just a fun film, and that's what the Mario games are all about. It's just about fun. It's about good gameplay, and for this film, it's just about good movie making, good storytelling, good characters, good performances, good world building and aesthetics and that shit. It's good, bruh. It was great. I enjoyed it. It was a good, nice time. I feel like obviously the biggest concern for everybody, like in terms of the cast, was Chris Pratt. You know, the big backlash, Mario's voice is gonna be fucking garbage and all that kind of stuff. And it's not really, you know. I think it was fine. You know, it's obviously not the big "let's go, yahoo" kind of very hot, happy-go-lucky Italian character voice that Charles Martinet does. It's more of the classic Brooklyn accent that's seen in like other adaptations of the character. Pretty much in anything outside of the games, Mario is always interpreted as this, you know, the Brooklyn, hey, forget about it, hey, big spaghetti and most meatballs and mustache and fuck, you know, that kind of stuff. And Chris Pratt does a fine job doing that, you know. Charlie Day does a good job at doing that. And that's all fine. Obviously, you get the little mannerisms of Mario, the wahoo and the yeah, let's go, and you know, that bullshit. So, I do definitely feel like probably could have just been fine doing the, you know, the Martinet voice, but I think the whole point is because they've gone with the classic, you know, TV show story thing of, you know, the Mario Brothers are originally from Brooklyn, so maybe they would stand out a bit too much if they had that crazy exaggerated Mario voice. Which, you know, fair enough. I guess that makes sense. I can't complain too much about it, because at the very least the performances were good. They were fine. I enjoyed them. I did not cringe. I did not hate it. I did not dislike it. I thought it was fine. You know, it was fine. Not spectacular or fucking not the role performance of a lifetime. It was just fine. It was good. It was the character. Jack Black was fucking great as Bowser. Fucking really good as Bowser. And I especially love how, obviously because Bowser breathes a lot of fire and stuff, they still have that old, my favourite version of Bowser's voice, which is like the big growly kind of version of him. He still does that every now and again when he's like breathing fire. You can hear it just a little bit. He's going so it's nice that that's in there alongside Jack Black's interpretation of the voice. Even Keegan-Michael Key, which I thought his Toad voice would get really fucking annoying very fast, was fine. I think actually it was a good choice of voice, because I think the actual Toad voice but it got really annoying really fucking fast, so I think it was actually a good idea, a good choice on their part, and I think it worked very well. Anya-Taylor Joy was fine. You know, the performances weren't like blow your nuts off as fucking crazy, you know, because the fact of the matter is the Mario games, all these characters are kind of blank slates anyway. They've got like bare characteristics to them. You know, like Mario's just a brave, you know, goody two-shoes, and Luigi's a little scaredy cat and all that kind of stuff. And Bowser's just a big bad who wants to, like, you know, be evil and kidnap Peach and stuff. There's not a lot there to begin with. So, you know, it's not like the performances had anything, had a lot of great that's not true. They had a lot of, especially Chris Pratt, a lot of expectations, but there wasn't a lot there to build off of and create a masterpiece of a performance or anything. They became the characters. They felt like the characters. They felt like worthy adaptations of them. It was fine. It was good. Yeah, the aesthetics of the film were fucking phenomenal as well. Like, just everything in the Mushroom Kingdom just looks absolutely stellar. The colors, the color palette, and just everything is bright and colourful and bouncy and like just very warm and friendly looking and all that kind of stuff. It just embodies the games very well. The Mario games have got a very, very, very iconic and identifiable look, you know what I mean, and it just encapsulates all that kind of stuff and brings in its own unique look too, which is really, really cool, and I liked it a lot. And I like the way that they brought in all the different kingdoms and all that kind of stuff, the different kind of levels, quote unquote. They managed to bring all these different things in, which is really, really cool, and it works very well. And it's just nice, you know, it was a good adventure. It felt like an adventure, which is what Mario is, you know, it's an adventure going from level to level until you get to the final boss, and that's what the films felt like, exactly that. Or the film, looked like I said films plural there, I meant films singular. Even like Brooklyn looked fucking great. Brooklyn had a mood, man. I don't know what it was. It's just, there was something about how they managed to nail that. It just looks so fucking great. Like seeing the Brooklyn Bridge is always like in the background and shit. Everything's like condensed, and it's like dense streets and buildings and all that kind of stuff. Brown brick buildings and all that kind of stuff. Hey, brown bricks, am I right? Mario, Lamau. It just, like, Brooklyn looked great as well. The whole thing was just very aesthetically pleasing. It just looked really nice. There was one specific scene, I'm not going to give anything away with this, but it's just Mario in his room. And I don't know, it's just the aesthetic of the moonlight and, you know, the moon beams coming in through the door, and you just see the brown bricks outside, brown bricks. It looked great. Brooklyn had a mood. I don't know what the fuck or why. It just looked fantastic. Even the non-Mushroomy Kingdom, like high fantasy, video gamey, poppy color stuff looked really, really great. And that's good. The whole film just looked really nice. The whole film had a mood and aesthetic to it. And again, honoured the Mario games as well as doing this more, you know, stuff you don't see in the games like Brooklyn and the Mario Brothers being from Brooklyn and stuff looked all good. It all looked very, very aesthetically lit, and I liked it a lot. It was very nice to look at and absorb with my eyeballs. What else can I say that's spoiler free? It didn't shove jokes down your throat, which is actually really good. It wasn't wall-to-wall jokes, or like kiddie humor or kids stuff or any of that kind of shit. When there was jokes, they were fine and they landed well enough. You know, apart from I don't know, what was there? Nothing I can really think of that annoyed me or made me go, whatever, eye roll moment. Most of it was fine, and like I said, there wasn't actually a lot of jokes in it, which is, I thought was quite impressive actually for like an Illumination film. It didn't try and bombard you with fucking stupid jokes or silly kid things. It was just like a good story, like I keep saying. And it did have some funnies in there every now and again, but overall the whole film wasn't relying on being like a comedy film and having like comedy. It was more like what Mario is, which is just like a cool video game adventure film. Yeah, not overtly hilarious. When there was jokes, they landed well enough, and they gave me a good giggle when they came, but there wasn't a lot of it, and I didn't actually really want a lot of jokes in it anyway. I just wanted a good Mario film, and they delivered that. So cool, well done. Very, very pleasantly surprised yet again. Okay, if I will go into the spoilerific review, there's not much I need to talk about in terms of spoiler-free stuff. You know, I think you should just go and see it is the main thing. But in terms of like spoilerific stuff, in terms of like story and all that kind of shit, I actually thought there was a lot of really sweet moments throughout the whole thing, and I thought there was actually a lot of really great character bits. Like the sole bits of characterization that these characters have in the games were taken and implemented into the film and expanded upon very, very well. Like how Bowser actually really likes Peach a lot. Like we get this idea in like Mario Odyssey when you jump in his brain and you get to see all these fantasies of him proposing to Peach and marrying her and being the giver and stuff, even though he goes about it in a very kind of creepy fucking stalkery way. We actually see a lot of that in the film. The whole thing is he wants to rule the world with Peach, which is quite darling, I think. You know, you get to feel his emotions and all that kind of stuff. They utilise Jack Black very efficiently. Jack Black can sing, he's a fucking amazing singer. Bowser fucking sings in this film. He has some funny little moments, he's playing piano, singing about peaches, 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 and it's really fucking funny. That was the funniest parts of the whole film. They used Jack Black's ability to sing and perform very efficiently, which was very smart. Stuff like Mario and Luigi having a really tight brotherly bond. You know, you get to see baby Mario and Luigi like from Yoshi's Island and stuff, and flashback sequences, etc. And I thought it was quite cute. I liked how they made, you know, Luigi's biggest characteristic is being a little spooky scaredy cat, which he done really well. It was all like, so I thought we're going to see it, but there wasn't. There was some nice subtle hints towards like Luigi's mansion when he's on his own. He's in like the Darklands and it looks like the forest from Luigi's mansion. He's got a flashlight, he's walking around with it and shit. You know, he gets caught in the spooky place, so that was a cool little nod. But yeah, they had a really good relationship. I really liked the two of them were really great together, you know. Which was nice. Anya-Taylor Joy and Peach, you know, I respect the idea that Peach is supposed to be you know, because the whole thing in the games is she just gets kidnapped over and over and over again, and I think it made more sense for her to actually do something, because she does in the games anyway. You can play her like, you know, it was like almost like Mario 2, because it's Peach and Mario and Toad together going on an adventure. Yeah, not all Luigi. I'll get back to that. That's like the one thing I can moan about. But yeah, Peach is pretty cool. You know, she can do shit. She's effective, and she's fun enough. Like Peach is probably the blankest slate of all the characters, so they could literally do whatever she wanted with her, and it was I found it be fine, and it was fine. She was great. She was a cool little heroine. Yeah, you know, she can do things. She's playable in the games. She's a hero. You know, she can do all this kind of stuff. It made sense that they would do that for this film instead of just having her getting kidnapped. But you know, it's nice that she did get kidnapped near the end. You know, it was, you know, that's the big thing of the games, right? So at the very least, she should get caught at some point, and she did, which is cool. Fair enough. Like I said before, I was actually shocked at how there wasn't just a lot of homage to the Mario games. There was Donkey Kong Country in there. There was just the Donkey Kong games in general. A lot of homage to like the Nintendo 64, especially, you know, that whole era of Donkey Kong. And other Nintendo stuff too. Like I said, there was a lot of Nintendo properties. There's a lot of Punch-Out in there. Kid Icarus is in there. The NES is in there. Mario was literally, when I was talking about the scene in the room, he's playing Kid Icarus on the NES. He's got like a little Star Fox R-Wing model in his room and all that kind of stuff. There's posters all over the place of like different NES titles and stuff. Yeah, one of the restaurants you go to is like the Punch-Out Cafe. A lot of fighters and boxers from the Punch-Out games are in there and all that kind of shit. And there's a little arcade machine, which is a homage to Donkey Kong, except it's called Jumpman, because, you know, they're Jumpman, of course, the original Mario name and shit. That was cool. I appreciate that we got to hear music that I was not expecting to hear. You know, they crammed the fucking film with Mario songs like it was crazy. There was Odyssey, Galaxy, Free, World 2, the original, obviously, 64, Mario Kart, of course, Donkey Kong Country music, the fucking Donkey Kong rap was in it. At least the bit that goes Donkey Kong. They were fucking chanting that when Donkey Kong came out. Fucking fire. That was so fucking cool. I'm so glad they did that. Obviously you had the Mario rap from the cartoon. It was fucking great, man. It just felt so good to see all this stuff and get to point it out and flex, you know, your Mario knowledge and stuff. It was a really feel good film in that way, to be like, oh, they fucking crammed it, man. It was such a loving, it was a love letter to the Mario film, to the Mario games. It definitely was a love letter to the Mario games, is how I felt. And that's how it should be, you know what I mean? This is it's the Mickey Mouse of video games, do you know what I mean? That's just the way it is. He is Mr. Video Game, and the history and all that kind of stuff just goes so far. And, you know, you gotta respect that shit when you're making a film and have it all in there. And they did that very, very well. From the worlds to the platforming, you know, there was a lot of like platforming elements. Even like in Brooklyn, there was a sequence where Mario and Luigi, their plumbing mobile breaks down and they have to get to a house, so they run and they do all this. It turns into a 2D perspective where you get to see them doing all the platforming and stuff to get there for a construction site. It's pretty cool. They had Wrecking Crew as well, their old boss, because they used to work for the Wrecking Crew guy, like they did in the games. Is fucking great, bruh. So much good bits and pieces of lore all scattered throughout it, which is just fucking sick. And also there was a lot of like the sound effects are getting utilised efficiently. It was so fucking cool. Like from the you know, Koopa shells going ba-doop, Kamek casting his little shape spells, and all that kind of shit, jumping on stuff, you know, just power-ups even, like all the different sound effects from using the power-ups and shit. It was all implemented effortlessly, you know what I mean? It felt really good to hear all that kind of stuff. And they didn't try and modernise it, not trying to make it not sound like 8-bit, like the warp pipe sound effect or anything like that, or the power-up sound when you're eating a mushroom. It's all the way it is, which is really cool. And there's a lot of power-ups in it as well, you know? I'm surprised they managed to implement the red mushroom in such a way where it's like, you know, Mario becomes bigger. That's the whole point of the power-up in the games. It's like, how the fuck would you implement that in the film? But they did it really well. It just makes Mario bigger, makes him a big dude. He's a small guy and he makes him a big dude. Even had the mini mushroom from New Super Mario Bros. Was not expecting that at all. Cat Mario, obviously, from 3D World and 3D Land, and Ice Flower from like Galaxy and shit, and Mario Bros. Wii. That was really fucking cool. Fire Flower, obviously, we all know and love. The Tanuki suit, of course, from World. That was fucking sick. Even other subtle stuff like that are not even related to power-ups, like in the scenes where Mario, in the trailer for Mario and Luigi's little plumbing company ad, they had like the little yellow capes on from Mario World as well, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, it was just fucking cool, bro. I keep gushing it. It was just cool to see all this kind of stuff. And of course, the story was coherent as well. It was quite a simple fucking premise that anyone can follow. You know what I mean? It didn't have to be anything else. It was Mario and Luigi falling to the Mushroom Kingdom. You see it all in the trailers, pretty much, like how Luigi gets taken by Bowser and stuff, and Peach is gonna go out and stop Bowser. She has to seek the power of the Kongs, goes to the Jungle Kingdom. It should have been called Kong Country or something like this, but it was a Jungle Kingdom. And Mario comes with him and Toad, and then, you know, they're driving there through Rainbow Road and all that kind of stuff. They get caught, they do the big fight. You know, it's a pretty simple story. It doesn't need to be anything else. Mario itself is quite simple anyway. Again, it doesn't need to be fucking elaborate or anything like that, so it carries the film. It's entertaining enough. It's good, you know, you want to see what happens. But a lot of it, you kind of know. I feel like the trailers showed way too fucking much, because a lot of it I was like, yeah, I've seen this already, like the whole sequence of Bowser interrogating Luigi and ripping his mustache off, you know, till Mario discovering the Mushroom Kingdom for the first time, and meeting Toad, walking through the Mushroom Kingdom. It's just like, all these, they showed way too much, I think, was a big problem. You don't realise that at the time when you're watching these trailers. I feel like maybe they felt like they had to, because people were unconvinced that it was going to be good. So like, here, show, there's this cool shit, man. It's a good film, I swear, I promise. But it was like, maybe they should have let the film speak for itself instead of showing so much. I don't think you realise it quite at the time when it's happening. It's like they're showing too much. At least in my book, I'm sure some people were like, they're showing too much. I didn't think so. Now I am. No, I do think so. After watching the whole film, it's like, man, a lot of this shit is a lot of back-to-back. I've seen it already. It doesn't need to be so much of that, which is a bit of a shame, because you kind of, even though it's like a simplistic plot, you kind of knew where the whole thing was going anyway. You know, from the Mario Brothers plumbing their game, you know, plumber and he gets Mushroom Kingdom, wow, Luigi's gone, you know, all that shit. Just, it all goes through it. You go through the motions, and it's like, yeah, I've seen all this kind of stuff, the Rainbow Road race and stuff. Seen it. But, you know, it's not a big deal. It's just like, maybe not so much of that next time, dudes. I think now that people, hopefully, I think so, people like the film and are convinced that it's good, and if they ever decide to do a sequel, they won't do that next time. You don't need to do that, you know? There isn't a lot of stuff for me to really complain about, to be honest, apart from, I mentioned about Luigi. Luigi's actually hardly in the film, which is a bit of a fucking shocker. Like, they basically went, instead of Peach getting kidnapped, they kidnapped Luigi, and he's barely in it. It's like, damn, man, like, it's fucking Luigi's. Charlie Day is Luigi Mario. He should have been in it way more. Should have had a nice little B-side story where he's like maybe trying to escape. I know that he's maybe a spooky coward and he's scared of everything, but that could have been his growth moment, where he's like, right, you know, Mario's maybe not coming to get me, I don't know where he is. Because there's that flashback scene where he's like, they're babies and stuff, you see Mario sticking up for Luigi and shit. That could have been a turning point where Luigi's like, I was trying to stick up for myself, you know what I mean? But this doesn't happen. He's just stuck the whole time until Mario comes to rescue him. He gains his courage near the end when Mario's about to get fucking killed, but it just doesn't happen. I think Luigi should have had more screen time, and that should have been his whole, you know, arc. His hero's journey is him learning to not be a fucking coward by himself. But it just doesn't happen. He's just barely in it, which is it kind of sucked. So it could have been way more Luigi, since it's, you know, the Mario Bro. It's not the Mario movie, it's the Mario Brothers movie. So more Luigi would be nice. Next time, please. If they're gonna make a spin-off film, if they're gonna make more, a Luigi's Mansion film would not go amiss, for sure. I think that's definitely rife for that kind of thing. Charles Martinet, where the fuck was he, bruh? Like, come on! Martinet, he's the Mario. He's been doing it since Mario learned to fucking talk in games. And he's fucking barely in it. He's one little throwaway character that's designed to look like that fucking schmuck, like more like the classic Jumpman with the inverted overalls and stuff. And he goes, Yahoo! Yahoo! Pretty much twice. I mean, we barely fucking see him. It's like, bruh, is that really the role you wanted to give Charles fucking Martinet, Mario himself? Like, I'm not even saying he should have been Mario in the first place. I think maybe he could have, but I don't know. I think Chris Pratt was fine. I think the choice that they made with the Brooklyn accent was actually, it does make sense, considering he is from Brooklyn and that kind of stuff. Fair enough, I'm not even complaining about that. It's just like, couldn't he have had a bigger role? We see the Mario family in the film. Like, we actually see Mario's fucking family, like father, mother, I guess cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever. We don't actually get properly introduced to them. We don't know their names or anything, but we see them. Couldn't Charles Martinet been the dad? You know what I'm saying? Like, even at the end of the film, when his dad sees his kids doing things, he goes, Yahoo! Could have been fucking him, is all I'm fucking saying. So it's a bit of a shocker that that's how they used Charles Martinet in the film. It's just this little Jumpman caricature. Bruh. It should have been his dad, is all I'm saying. It's just a bit of a waste, to be honest. It sucks. And my only problem with the film, in terms of the story, is it just ends. It literally just fucking ends. It's crazy. I wasn't expecting them to do stuff like bring the Mushroom Kingdom into Brooklyn. I thought that was pretty cool how they brought this stuff into the real world. It was quite interesting. I'm quite curious to see if they expand upon how it all works, because Bowser keeps calling it the world, Peach keeps calling it the world, sort of about galaxies and stuff. So, like, you know, is it a different dimension? Like, is it a planet? Where is it? How does it work? You know, if they go into that, that'd be quite interesting. I wonder if they will. But yeah, it was quite cool they brought that in. But yeah, they beat Bowser, blah blah blah. Mario wakes up in his house, he gets ready for work with Luigi, and then they open the door. It's not Brooklyn, it's the Mushroom Kingdom, and then it ends. It just fucking ends. It's crazy. They just, yep, all done kind of thing. It's like, couldn't they have done something a bit different? Like, I don't know what else they could have done, like a big hurrah moment. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know how they would have ended it. Something a bit more like how the games would end, perhaps. And then, you know, Mario, thank you so much for watching my film, or something. I don't know. Just the way it just ended was very. I wasn't ready. Like, it just happened, and then the titles came up and went, oh fuck, that's it. It's over. Damn, man. I was enjoying that. You know what I mean? Just a more cohesive ending that was like, I understand that the film. People will know when the ending of a film's coming up, typically. I fucking didn't this time. It just happened. It was very strange. I don't really know what else to say. Like, there wasn't a lot to complain about. I almost wish there was. I don't want to be like, yeah, man, it was just good. You know, it was just a great film. It was a pleasure to watch it. It was fun. It was easy going, you know. I didn't have to like fucking use my brain too hard. It's like playing a Mario game, bro. You pick up and you fucking play it and you enjoy the gameplay and the world and all of that shit. It's just how Mario works. And that's how the film worked almost. It was just like you sit down and you watch the film and you fucking enjoy it. You enjoy the story and the aesthetics and the characters, you know. That was fucking cool. I really liked that. It was impressive how they managed to do that. I think. I wonder if that was the point. You know, did they kind of take that philosophy of like sit down and enjoy the game and to sit down and enjoy the film? Did they? I don't know. Nintendo were involved. Miyamoto was like very heavily involved in the making of the film, so could it have been? Perhaps. it certainly felt that way. Will we see a sequel? I don't know. They certainly teased something at the end of a little Yoshi egg, wasn't it crazy? I hope so. I'd love to see a sequel to the Mario film, the Mario movie, honestly. I think I'd like to see them expand it out more and explore other elements of the games. Because it seems like they'll do anything, do you know what I mean? And like I said, you know, they had a lot of Mario Kart in there, Donkey Kong Country in there, like Cranky Kong, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, Chunky Kong. I'm pretty sure the guy that opens the door was Funky Kong. I fucking hope so. You know, all that kind of shit. They had some tiny elements of Luigi's Mansion in there. You know, I still think even some elements of like Super Smash Brothers in there in some terms of some of the moves. You know, I'm still confident of that scene where Mario's in a training course and he hits Bowser as his fucking side air from the game. There should have been a bit more. I'll say this: when Mario fights Donkey Kong, the arena they fight in should have been a stage from Mario, like Conga Falls or something. I think that would have been way cooler and would have made everyone freak the fuck out, like some proper Smash Bros stuff. I get it, Smash isn't necessarily a Mario game in the Mario series, but it's called Super Smash Brothers, and you know Mario's like character number 1 and Donkey Kong's character number 2 as well. So you know it would have made sense in that way to see that happen. Yeah, that's just a good point. Like I said with the character dynamics, just another throwaway bit. I loved Mario and Donkey Kong together in this film. I love the whole frenemies thing because it's just so fitting for them. Do you know what I mean? Like they are frenemies, I guess you would say that in the games. They're not necessarily like Donkey Kong's not necessarily an evil villain anymore, but they certainly have a little bit of a rivalry there, but a mutual respect for each other almost. So that was pretty cool. They even had a fucking bit where they escape the eel. There's a bit where they escape an eel, and I feel like that must have been Donkey Kong Jet Race, you know, the Wii game where they're on the barrels and shit. Felt like that. Surely that must have been. I don't know. And that's a good point too. They managed to capture all these kingdoms and aesthetics from the games, like the opening bit with like the Ice Kingdom there. There's an underwater sequence and underwater levels. You know, they went for a Sand Kingdom at some point in a deserty kind of area. You got the spooky ghost, you know, the castles and stuff you see throughout the games, and the Darklands part. You got obviously Bowser's Flying Fortress, which is essentially that whole like level world 8 kind of evil Bowser's world kind of thing. Yeah, they captured all that really well. And you can see all the different elements of the different Mario games as well. Just kind of like the Sand Kingdoms, obviously from Odyssey, and you get to see a little bit of a question mark cannon, kind of looks like Bob on Battlefield a little bit from 64. All very cool stuff. It makes me excited for the future of this film, if it has a future. Because I'd love to see them go like Il Delfino or something. I'd love to see a Luigi's Mansion spin-off, a Donkey Kong Country spin-off. Where you get to see King K. Rool pull up or something would be fucking sick, you know what I mean? And Mario, you know, the next film is like Mario Galaxy or something. I don't know, the fucking possibilities are just simply endless. Yeah, I'm gonna stop waffling now. Yeah, just good film, man. Just watch it. It's a great fun to just sit down and fucking enjoy, like the games. I'd recommend the Mario games to anybody. I'd recommend this film to anybody as well. So we're gonna put it on the epic to lame ratio right now. So the Super Mario Bros movie 2023. It's just tough, man. I don't actually know where I would be going. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think, I mean, it's definitely in the upper echelons of epic, right? You know, typically I reserve most epic for films that I was highly anticipating and absolutely fucking smashed all my expectations, and it was as good as I thought it would be, and more. But I don't know about the Mario movie, bro. Like, again, it's fun. It's a great film to just sit down and watch, and it's a great homage to the Mario games. It's a great love letter, and there's just so much in it. It's just great fun, and it's just enjoyable. I think I'm going to put it in high tier, very epic. High tier, very epic. Fuck it. Most, and low tier, most epic. I don't give a fuck. I was thinking about that. I was wrestling with that there, but if I feel like I need to do it, then I'm going to do it. So it's high tier, very epic to low tier, most epic. It's a fucking fun film. It's great. I loved it. I enjoyed watching it, and it was nice to be shown, you know, what fucking hold up. Everyone freaked out over this film and it was going to be awful. Bruh, it was fucking good. It was good. There is nothing here that I can see to make fun of or bully or say was shit. It was just a great, wholesome, fun to watch, fun for all ages, Mario video game adventure, homage, love letter, all of it. Love letter to that, love letter to the Nintendo games, all of it. It was very thoughtfully crafted and I like it very much and I'm glad it was. So that's going to be my review of the Mario movie. Obviously it's a very recent release, but you know, I am a fucking Nintendo dude. I've been a Nintendo dude and a Mario dude for all my life, so it made sense to talk about this film because it's highly anticipated and I don't think people can still quite believe that it's happening or it has happened or it's in the process of happening. Yeah, that's my tube review of the Mario movie, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the film. I'm always curious to see what people think. I read all of the comments as well, so you know, I'm curious to see what happens with everybody's thoughts. Ah, fucking. Wow!